Well, it looks like it's about time to take the puppies for, they heard me. Take the puppies for Milky Bone time. Is it Milky Bone time? Yeah, time to go get the Milk Bone treasures? Yes. Now, last night, these two scoundrels were having T-bone steak. Did you have steak last night? Yes. Give me the snort of happiness. She said, I would eat that T-bone stuff again. I like that. That was good stuff. Yum. So yeah, they had a lot of my T-bone steak last night. I still have some left today, which I will use in something. But yeah, this morning I had that papaya. It was so good. Oh my God, I enjoyed every single bite of it. Somebody said they've never had papaya. Oh my God, you have to try it. It's so good. It really did bring back memories. Now, yesterday when I was out driving my little IQ, it just flashed. I wish I had this in Hawaii. It's a perfect little car for going around the island. Okay? I could see myself driving around the island in that little car. Now, I really did enjoy my time living in Hawaii, but it's changed so much. When I lived there many years ago, it was more like family ohana, that you'd go out and there was always music being played somewhere and you'd smell the fragrant pikake flowers and things and you'd have one in your hair. And it was just so much more relaxed. Last time I went back, I didn't enjoy it as much. It became so commercial and so, the touristy commercial things being sold all the time on the streets and stuff. And it just did not have that really relaxed spirit that it used to have. You used to enjoy walking out there and hearing all the different music playing, and there was always something out there to see. Now I lived for a while, on Oahu side, and then I lived out the north side of the island, out where it's more country. I had a little studio apartment, and I'd go out in the morning and I'd go swimming out there in the morning time, snorkeling, on the North Shore. That was really good. And then I lived also, a number of places in more of the city side of Oahu. I lived over the top of this little market that they had, Samoan market there, and they had a little upstairs thing that I had rented. And then for a while also I was up by Diamond Head. That's when I knew the one lady that she had her son. One son was named Love and the other was named Peace something, and it was her father that they really said killed the Black Dahlia. And she was telling me all of these things, and it was, when I met, she knew Michelle Phillips, from the Mamas and the Papas, and she would come over. But this woman, she was like, she was telling me these things, and I was like, Then I found out, I was like, is she weaving tales? And I found out they had a whole big, huge documentary about it. But yeah, she had lived in Hollywood area in this really odd house. I forget who made that house, but it was a really odd house. But she was telling me they were having sex parties and stuff, things going on there. And her dad was a doctor. And she said he absolutely killed the Black Dahlia. She was yeah, she was a little out there, okay? Needed definitely have some mental health help, because I guess her life was really screwed up when she was young. But yeah. And then there was the guy that was a walk-in. I had some really odd experiences, I'm telling you, in Hawaii. This guy was a walk-in. He was older gentleman. He said he was in a plane that caught on fire, and there were no more parachutes or anything. So he had the choice of either going and burning up with the plane or jumping, and he jumped. He said on the way down, something contacted him and said, I could save your life, but you've got to give me access to your body. He agreed, and he said the next thing he knew, he was on the ground safely. Now, this guy would, he had no transport, but he would say he was in contact with the aliens, and he would wind up on the other side of the islands in the morning. And he introduced me to these other people, and I saw strange things. They would go into this closet thing and disappear. Gone. Gone. And they were saying they were from the Ashtar Command, and they knew all about this small, the esoteric order that I was in. And they said, yeah, Father Blyton didn't finish his mission. He left, and you're to head up the order. And then they were saying, oh, yeah, Yeshua was a hologram. He wasn't real, it was a hologram. And I pushed back on that. And they said too many of my kind had killed too many of their kind. They got a call from England in the middle of the night to get me out of there immediately. Yeah. So, yeah, I've had some odd experiences, But, yeah, they were saying, oh, yeah, you need to head up the order now. And now, again, they said they were Ashtar Command, but I don't believe that for a moment because of, like I said, some experiences that I had. Now, we were sitting there, and I was going to see the ship. Now, I lost time. Sitting there. But I just remember we sat there. This is the evening. And I don't have any remembrance. And the morning came, and I was there, and he was the other side of the island. So, but I've lost time. So, did I go on that ship that night? I don't know. But like I said, I had some very unusual things. Now, I was in the midst of the Kundalini things at that time. Just really crazy. He wanted to give me some drugs, and no, absolutely not. And he had this big called celestial crystal, big one. I took it and I smashed it. He was so angry. I mashed that thing into 1,000 pieces. I'm, definitely I'm not going to be taking, hallucinogenic drugs and stuff going through that. Absolutely not. But I had some really unusual experiences. Now, I used to hike back when I was in the North Shore to where they had this waterfall. You can't go back there anymore. Too many people lost their lives because you hike back in that area, and if it starts raining, you get caught in there and you'll drown because it really, so you can't go back in that area anymore. But I did go back in that area, and I had thrown some crystals and stuff into the water pond there. Yeah. But yeah, I do enjoy my time. When I was there, I was working with this woman that had the Chinese cresteds, and I would help her socialize them and get them ready to be shown. They were show dogs. Now, she had one little crested. His name was Elvis. And he, when he was being shown, you could do anything with him. But when he was not in the show ring, forget it. He'll take your hand off. He was Elvis. Elvis, her little Chinese crested. But yeah, I really enjoyed working with them. So yeah, my crazy times in Hawaii. I've had a lot of crazy things happen in my life. I mean, I don't know how all these things took place. I mean, it's like I've lived 3 lives in this one lifetime. But I do really, really love Hawaii. Yeah. I probably would have moved back there except for having puppies, and then just, at one point, you would have to leave them in quarantine for 6 months. Can you imagine? You would have to go if you were moving over that. Now, it's changed since then. I mean, you still have to jump through a ton of hoops to take a pet over to Hawaii. But it used to be they would have to be quarantined like 6 months. I could never do that to one of my pets. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's my Hawaii stuff. Crazy things happen.